Hey everybody, welcome back to Poland. We're in Krakow right now, but we are going to do a road trip along the Czech border within Poland to go visit some of the cities and towns that you recommended for us to go visit. So, Julie, what are the towns we're going to?
We're going to go to Bielsko Biala. We're also going to do Jelenia Gora, Karpacz, and Szklarska Poręba.
So, come along with us today as we go check out some pretty interesting little towns and cities along the Polish-Czech border. So we're exploring a little city with about 300 some thousand people. It's called
Bielsko Biala.
Bielsko Biala. We think that's how you say it.
No, that's how you say it.
Okay. So anyway, it's got this really pretty little square here. And, we don't know exactly what to expect today, but we're going to explore around this area. It's a Sunday. It's pretty quiet.
And we're close to the mountains.
The city is only 41 kilometers to the Czech border and 53 kilometers to the Slovakian border. And it's got the Carpathian Mountains right nearby. The elevation of the city will vary depending on where you are, from 860 feet at the lowest point to 3,665 feet at the highest. That's 262 meters to 1,117 meters. As we're looking around Poland, we're looking at livability of a city and seeing if it's a place that we can see calling home. This area was recommended for us to check out, and it is the 22nd largest city in Poland. The city has a lot of Austrian influence in its buildings, and it's kind of known as a Little Vienna. And when you look at the buildings throughout the city, especially the old ones, you'll see that influence. The city has a lot of parks and statues, and you'll notice that there's a lot of people that will take a lot of pictures with some of these statues that are focused on a couple of cartoon characters known as Bolik and Lolik. And they were very popular for many people growing up here from 1962 to 1986. They had over 180 videos or cartoons made with their characters. They're mostly family-friendly, wholesome adventures. Even though Bielsko Biala is the 22nd largest town in Poland, we found it to be very quiet. At least it was on Sunday, and we had a nice, peaceful visit. The architecture we found to be quite stunning and beautiful, and they really did take nice care of their parks and areas in Bielsko Biala. Life could be very nice here in Bielsko Biala if you're looking for that nice, peaceful, medium-sized city where you kind of have a little bit of everything, but you also don't have as much of the hustle and bustle of the largest cities. Maybe one of its best features is its proximity to some of the cities like Katowice and Krakow, and its lower cost of living. Here we are in Jelenia Gora. This is near the borders of Czech Republic as well as Germany. And how far away are they, honey?
I think Germany's like 70 kilometers. I'll have to look it up. And Czech's about 35, I believe.
Okay, so not too far. And we're going to spend a little bit of time in this region, looking at some other areas of the mountains. But this little town of Jelenia Gora has got about 50,000 people. When we drove in, it had like an industrial section that we drove through, which wasn't really too charming. But as we walked around this old town here, it's kind of grown on me. So I think if you come in and check this area out, I think the old town and the pedestrian zone will win you over.
And it's near the Karpacz Mountains. So.
Yes, near the mountains. Jelenia Gora has been around for over 900 years and has been back and forth between many different empires and was part of Germany up until the end of World War II, when it reverted back to being Polish. You'll see deer in the area, and that has to do with the name Jelenia Gora, which translates to English as Deer Mountain. So you'll see that deer is part of the theme of the city. Now, Jelenia Gora is a decent-sized place, and we looked at this as being a possible location to live, being close to the mountains, but also from the standpoint of the next two cities that we visit after Jelenia Gora, only being 25 minutes from here, that if we chose the smaller towns, may be the place that we would want to visit so that we can get supplies, go to bigger restaurants, Speaking of restaurants, we stopped for a really decadent dessert. Julie got her healthy bottle of water. Of course, I got a really great cappuccino. And the restaurant here was really, really well priced. So we enjoyed our little dessert and time here on the walkway for 40.63 PLN. If we are coming back here, I will tell you that we will stop in this little restaurant again and get ourselves a really nice decadent dessert. Now, if you're new to our channel, Julie and I, we're traveling the world with our two dogs. We're trying to see what it's like to live in different countries, different places, and we're trying to share our experiences and expenses with you. So we hope that you're going to subscribe, give the video a like, and follow along. And as a reminder, we do use global health insurance as we're traveling. So if you'd like to have more information on the insurance that Julie and I use as we travel the world, send me an email at warrenjulietravel@gmail.com. I'll send you over the link so you can run your own quote. So if you're a global traveler, a company with employees overseas, or an expat looking for coverage, send me an email. We happened to find a real estate office that had flyers in the window, so we're able to share with you some of the real estate options in the local vicinity. So right now, the dollar is worth 4.72 Polish zloty, the euro is 4.72 Polish zloty, and the pound is 5.45 Polish zloty. For those of you in America, 1 square meter is equal to approximately 11 square feet. So if you're interested in real estate in Poland, at least in this area, feel free to pause, zoom in on these pictures, and see if there's something in here that's right for you. So if your budget was $100,000, you're looking at 472,000 Polish zloty. Full-time residency is not easy in Poland, so check out our residency video. So when we first got into the square, I thought that was it, and I was like, wow, this is a little underwhelming. But as we've walked around, we find out this pedestrian zone just keeps on going.
It does.
I mean, a lot more people here. The first square looks beautiful, but it was kind of small, but there's a lot more. There is Pizza Hut, so let's see what their menu board looks like. While we don't often eat at these chain restaurants, we like being able to give these types of prices because you can typically do a comparison of what it would cost in your area as compared to what we're looking at. Honestly, this town grew on me as the day went on, but I was actually very eager to see what the mountain towns nearby were like. Both of these towns that we're about to jump into are only 25 minutes or less from Jelenia Gora. Okay, Julie, what kind of town do you have us staying in? What is it?
It's a mythical creature.
Mythical creature, no.
Of the
What?
Karpacz Mountains.
Okay.
And we'll have to find some information.
What's this town called?
Karpacz.
Karpacz, and what's our population here?
About 5,000.
And it looks like a pretty cool town, actually. So
Yep.
we'll
It's
check it
beautiful.
out today and see what the streets look like. So this town is actually a 5-kilometer hike to the border with the Czech Republic. However, it's going to be about a 28-minute drive to get across the border on an actual road. So let's talk about Polish folklore. There's this monster that usually it's a deer standing on its hind legs with a devil's tail and horse hooves holding a long vertical stick in their hands. And according to this legend, that if you're going through the mountains, you want to bring a black rooster, and only that offering would appease the mountain monster. And supposedly nobody knows if it works because it's never been tested or successful. So our good luck has it that there's a street festival going on in Karpacz while we're visiting, and it really added to the atmosphere. And speaking of the atmosphere, there were a lot of clouds, but we were going to make the best of this day until the rain came. And everybody else on the street was as well. Now, something that's kind of mind-blowing is this area of Karpacz has been inhabited since probably the 4th or 3rd century BC. The Celtics were here at that point. So we're talking, this place is ancient. Now, this is a popular location for mountain hiking and spas, and in the winter, ski jumping, skiing. So this is a place that's pretty popular, and apparently it's popular year-round. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing at this point. For such a little town, there are a lot of different restaurants, different types of cuisine. So if you were living here, it doesn't seem like it would be too easy to feel like life was getting redundant. So this is a place that, maybe I can see living, and with Jelenia Gora just being down the hill, 25 minutes away, maybe. Wow, what an awesome little town. I'm liking this place.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The Street Fest really has me appreciating this little town. While having the Street Fest is great, we do have to keep in mind with just really checking out the town for the one day, we can't let it influence our decisions too much because we know there's not going to be a fest here every day, but it's nice to know that these types of events happen and you can see what it's like here in the community. They've got all kinds of things going on, stuff for the children and stuff for adults. And there are also amusement type park rides here as well with little roller coaster toboggan things going down the hill. So walking around, seeing all the places around, we finally decided we were going to get a bite to eat. And also because we knew rain was about to come and we needed to get some shelter. So we found a place that had outdoor seating with an umbrella. I'm going to go ahead and share with you the menu of the restaurant we went to here. Feel free to pause, zoom in, and take a closer look to see what you would have ordered in case you weren't looking at ordering the same items that Julie and I would order. Now, the food here was pretty good, and I'm going to let you know that we did have to run right after our meal here. We had a downpour and it rained for the next 2 days, so we only had the one afternoon here in Karpacz. I had a thin crust pizza, lemonade. Julie had hot tea and some sort of chicken dish, and it came out to be $23.34. What's this region called, honey?
Szklarska Poręba?
Szklarska Gora. Szklarska Gora. Gorba. Szklarska Poręba. This town population-wise is a little bit larger than Karpacz. It's 6,500 people, and it really was a very charming city. And it's really close to the border with the Czech Republic. We actually accidentally drove across the border as we were sightseeing around the roads. Just another cute mountain town. Definitely high on the consideration list for Julie and I if we decide that we wanted to live in Poland and buy a home. Really, really interesting place. Has its mythical creatures. This is a ski place. There's alpine, Nordic type skiing here, as well as the cross country, but there's also the activities such as the troll land and tree trekking. And of course, just like in Karpacz, you have the legend of the mountain monster, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, but there's another statue of it here. That's just beautiful nature out here. Walking along this beautiful stream. Just amazing rocks. Now, one of the biggest draws for us was this crisp, clean area. It's at an elevation of 440 to 886 meters, or 1,440 to 2,907 feet here in this city's vicinity. And the area that we're looking at right now is literally steps away from the old town. These are the hiking trails that if we lived here, I could easily put on some hiking boots or snowshoes depending on the time of the year, maybe even some cross-country skis. But also while we've been out on these trails and we explored this area, there were people out there mountain biking as well. There's just so much to do on these trails, and while there were other areas of Poland that were very beautiful and great national parks with trails, sometimes our dogs weren't allowed to go out on those trails. And here, I haven't seen any signs telling me I can't take Arya and Katie. So they are on the hike today, and they are loving this outside adventure. So this really bumps this area up on the list a bit. If you're new to our channel and you want to follow us in real time, we do have a Facebook community. Just search for Warren Julie Travel on Facebook and you'll find our group. and you can join us there and follow us in real time. We also have an Instagram page, so look for us on Instagram as well. And we'll look forward to being able to be in better contact with you on a regular basis. Currently it is August here in Poland. It's late August and the weather here is beautiful. The air is crisp and nice and comfortable. You know, we do know conversely, if we were to choose a location like this, it'll be quite different in the winter. It's one of those things that maybe we would just leave in the winter time if it got too cold, or embrace the skiing lifestyle. So there's so much to do here. It's definitely a place for consideration, and it is nice to know that just 25 minutes away, there is a decent sized city that we can go to. So out of curiosity, we've shown you Karpacz, Jelenia Gora, Szklarska Poręba, and Bielsko in this video. Leave a comment down below, where do you think you can see yourself living if you were given a choice between these 4 locations? Now, as I alluded to earlier, getting residency in Poland is not the easiest country. It is part of the European Schengen zone. So if you're looking to come to Poland and you're looking for residency, make sure you look at our residency video. There may be an opportunity for you to come here and stay. And it is somewhat easy to be able to come for 1 year to 18 months. And the answers are in the video that we did on residency. So as we explore different countries and look at the livability, we find a lot of livable places in Poland. Our problem right now is there's so many places in Poland that we have our interest in, that if we did get approved for residency in Poland, we are just trying to figure out how to make up our mind where to stay. You know, we liked Gdansk when we visited Gdansk, and Krakow has impressed us as well. And of course there's Zakopane. And if you haven't already, take a look at those videos if you're not familiar with our visits in these locations yet. From a cost of living standpoint, Poland is not the cheapest country that we've been to. You know, we've looked at other countries that are less expensive, but Poland has a great quality of life. And if you are looking at an EU country and trying to stay in the EU or looking at Schengen countries, then Poland is definitely one of the most cost-effective countries of the grouping. Now, as an added bonus, if you're an American, the Polish have the highest rating for liking Americans of any other country on the continent of Europe. So you'll more likely be embraced here than anywhere else on the continent. And that's not to say that Julie and I haven't felt like we've been embraced in other parts of Europe, but it's truly a special thing to be an American in Poland. If you haven't already, please give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. And as a reminder, Julie and I, we are traveling the world with our 2 dogs. We're trying to see what it's like to live in different countries, different cities. We're trying to share our experiences and expenses with you. So we hope that you're going to join us on our journey and that you're going to check back in with us and watch our future videos. And if you haven't already, check out some of our past videos. So until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.